I'm just gonna pull apart another piece so you can see what it's like. It's so fluffy and so yummy. So I'm starting for my wreath on my filling. So I've got my dough all made and I'm just whipping up some margarine. That is 1 cup, and to that I'm going to add 1.25 cups of sugar. This is brown sugar. 1.25 cups of sugar. I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. And then I'm going to mix it up, and that will be my filling. My dough is nicely risen here. Turn my dough out onto a lightly floured surface. Dough was rising for about 1.5 hours. It's very cold in Alberta today, so it took a little longer than it does in the summer. So what I'm going to do now is just roll out my dough into a long rectangle. So I'm just rolling out my dough, and I have a little bit of flour on this so it doesn't stick to my rolling pin, and I'm going to roll it out into a long rectangle. So I'm just spreading my filling over the whole long rectangle. Trying to get you a good angle here. My kids are impatient for my cinnamon buns, but they've been taking a while to rise today because it's almost -40 with the wind chill here in Calgary. We have our heat on, obviously, but it's so dry and it's so cold. In the summer, this rises almost twice as fast. So I'm just going to spread this all the way over. And then I'm going to show you how I roll it up. No more. No. After. Like that. Okay, so now I'm going to roll this up lengthwise. So that's a little bit different than how I would do cinnamon buns. I'd make it more of a square when I do cinnamon buns, but today I'm going to roll this up in a rectangle. So it's going to be very long and narrow. Okay, so roll that up. Hopefully you can see that okay. And then I try to make it even throughout. So this long tube, I'm basically just cutting it in half most of the way. And hopefully you can see this cross section. So I'm cutting my log long ways, almost to the end, not quite, just to the maybe 1 inch from the end. Once I have this fully cut, a folding over motion. So I'm going to kind of fold it up to begin with so that there we go. And then I'm just going to take one side and put it over. And then basically just keep crossing it over. You can do this as tight as you want. Mine's going to be pretty loose. I'm going to keep rolling it back a bit. And then, once I have it all sort of twisted, that is when I will, I'm going to kind of rotate that. I'm going to kind of make it into a circle. And when I get it on my parchment paper, I will make it look a little neater. So I'm going to transfer this onto my parchment paper, and it's going to rise again for about 45 minutes, and then I will bake it. So I'm going to let this rise up for about 45 minutes. So I'm just going to pop in my wreath at 375 for about 25 minutes. So it may take a little longer because this is a bit thicker than normal, and it's proofed up, and there's not much room in the middle, so this may look like a Christmas circle instead of a wreath. So here's my wreath, which the cinnamon bun was supposed to be a wreath, but it looks like a giant cinnamon bun, my husband said. Kind of. But guess what? It's going to taste really good. And I made a little icing, so I'm just going to use this as a little bit of a drizzle over the top. And I did put a little lemon in it. It just felt more festive. So I'll just do my drizzle. It's looking pretty good. My kids are excited to have this with their dessert tonight. So here's our wreath, which is now a giant cinnamon bun. I'll just pull apart a little bit of the cinnamon bun so you can see what it looks like here. It's pretty soft and nicely done. So this is going to be very delicious.